Welcome to the Get Unbusy Podcast. I'm your host, Kate Philpott, and this podcast is all about throwing your busy work out the window. You deserve to stay locked in on the parts of your business that light a fire under your hoo-ha, all right? The passion-driven freedom lifestyle, not being glued to your laptop every waking minute of the day. It's time to build a business that works for you, not one that works you into the ground. So, let's get unbusy, shall we? Hello. Welcome back to the Get Unbusy Podcast. It's your productivity hype girl, Kate. And today I am bringing you a conversation I wish someone had with me a few years ago when I was in a rough place with my own productivity. So today we're going to be talking about the dreaded time blindness. Why that 30-minute task took you 2 hours. It's like a dagger in the heart when that happens, and what to do about it. Okay, so before we dive in, of course, I'm going to come in with a life update, but actually this time it's a little bit more like a business update. And this is something that if you've seen my Instagram stories over the past month, you'll know that I've been working on a secret project. I think I mentioned it on the podcast as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did. But there's been a multi-month project that I've been working on that I actually about to announce to you right now, which I'm so excited about. So I want you to drum roll with me. All right. I want you to drum roll. Okay. So the secret project is, okay, this is where you drum roll. All right. I am hosting a summit in September 2025. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not going to drop all of the details of the summit because I want you to stay tuned as I drop more information as the months go on. But this summit is going to be for membership owners who want their membership to be the best membership in the fucking world. So it's not directly about growth. It's not directly about sales. But it's about making it the most incredible membership it can possibly be so that your members never want to leave. And not only do they never want to leave, but they cannot help but scream from the rooftops about how wonderful your membership is. So, there's going to be multiple different subtopics of that. I've already got plenty of topics in mind, but obviously it being May right now and it's happening in September, I'm very much at the beginning stages of just like organizing speakers, and I'm about to reach out to some speakers I would love to have as summit speakers. So this is something that I've actually wanted to do for years, but there is always another project in the background. There's always something else. I mean, there was launching my first mini membership, and there was launching my main membership, and then there was Streamlined Coach, and then there was having another job, and then there was the second round of Streamlined Coach, and then there was merging my two memberships, and then there was bundles and all of this stuff. So there was plenty of things going on over the past year or two where it just would not have been smart to add in another huge project. And I am not oblivious to the fact that a summit is plenty of work. These things are no small feat. I know there's a lot of work, but the fact that it's such a big project for me as a productivity strategist, that just gives me butterflies. I'm like, go on, hit me, challenge me, I'm ready. That excites me. I'm a big planning nerd, and nothing excites me more than a good productivity challenge. So I'm hosting a fucking summit, and I'm so excited about it. And I've attended plenty of summits and kind of been taking notes over the past, couple of months, knowing that I wanted to do this sometime soon, or at least, ideally this year, 2025. So I've been taking notes on what I've liked as an attendee and what I haven't been a big fan of. And me, I mean, I've got big, thick, high standards for myself, and I always want to be going above and beyond. So this summit is going to be incredible. I can pretty much guarantee that. It's also going to be free. So I can't wait for that. And if you're also excited about that, please come and DM me on Instagram at More to Life Kate, and we can just be excited together and throw loads of happy dancing emojis at each other. You know what? Oh my God, I'm going to challenge you to something right now. go over to my Instagram and DM me the GIF that most explains your excitement. I think that could be really fun. Okay, all right, let's dive into this episode. Let's talk time blindness because, this one is so fucking rude. Like honestly, the most rude productivity issue ever. So, I'm sure it's happened to you before. There's something on your to-do list for the day. You're like, oh, that should take me about 30 minutes. So you start doing it and 30 minutes go by and you're like, okay, well, actually I need a bit more time. By the time you actually finish it, it's 2 hours later. And you're there like, well, I didn't plan for this to be a 2-hour thing. There was an hour and a half of other work I was going to do. So how did I get here? And chances are, if this is something that you've experienced once, it's actually something that you experience on a regular basis because it's a habit and it's something where you are expecting the absolute best from yourself at all times. And then if a day comes where you have not peak energy, but you have average energy, you're like, why the hell am I so lazy? It's just so strange. I remember posting something like a year or two ago on my Instagram. Oh, God forbid if I could find it right now. That would be really, really helpful. But it was basically something like, the worst thing you can do for your productivity is to expect that you will have high energy and be in the best mood ever and be super fast at all of your tasks. Like, that's the worst thing you can do for your productivity. Why? Because those weeks where your energy is high constantly and you're in a good mood and you're, all of that, those weeks are so rare. And what a lot of us, particularly us very ambitious people, will do is we will expect the best from ourselves. We'll take something that was our absolute highest energy week and we'll be like, oh, well, if that's possible this one week, then there's no reason why it's not possible every single week. And that's where things get really iffy. Oh, yeah, oh my God, I found the piece of content. I actually made it about creating content, and I said the worst content plan you can create is the one that assumes you'll have top energy, unbreakable focus, and be in the best mood all bloody week. And when I went on to explain that, I was basically like, when you finally acknowledge the fact that you are actually human and the fact that you get tired and your brain gets fuzzy and you need play and you need rest and you're not a work machine, that's when you can actually bring realism into your content plan. Now, I was talking about content plan, but this is very, very relevant for a weekly plan in general, right? Are you really going to be able to commit to that 50 item to-do list? If everything goes tits up, is that actually still possible? Obviously, your girl is a systems girly, so I'm always going to be like, yeah, it probably is possible. There's streamlining we can do, there's automating we can do, there's SOPs we can create. But in terms of the work that you actually have to do, please do not assume when you're creating your content plan or you're creating your weekly plan of your time, please do not assume that you're going to have top energy, unbreakable focus and be in the best mood the whole time. Because those weeks they're not very common. They're just not. I mean, we can do certain things to increase the probability that we're going to have a week like that, but to assume that that's the default is actually damaging your productivity rather than helping it. So when this happens, there's a few things I want you to do, okay? First of all, I'll just say, if you've ever experienced time blindness like this and you feel like, why am I so unproductive? Like, am I just lazy? Shouldn't I be able to do this faster? Please know that this is not about laziness. It's literally just bringing some awareness to it. If you can bring awareness to the fact that, oh, that thing took me 2 hours, that's going to be an absolute game changer. The first absolute must that I need you to do is to narrow your workload. This might be something I need to get tattooed on my forehead. I feel like I say this in most of my work days, and if you have heard me say this before and you haven't taken me seriously, please take me seriously, especially if you're struggling with this time blindness situation. I want you to ask yourself, are you trying to do too much? And if your initial instinct is, no, I'm not, but you're still struggling with this time blindness, I want you to be more brutal. Could you reduce it down a little bit more? Can you narrow down the workload? This is not just lowering the bar so that you get less done and you're less successful. This is literally about putting less on your plate, but more intentional things on your plate. So the things that are there are the ones that are going to move the needle the most and get you further, so that your return on investment of energy and time is so much higher. And there's also the fact that when you have very long to-do lists, your brain gets so scattered. Every single time you start a task, your brain is still thinking about the 20 other tasks you have to do, rather than being okay with the fact that you just need to focus on this one thing right now. And in any given moment, you can believe, when you don't have a ridiculously long to-do list, you get to believe, oh, what I'm doing right now is the one thing I'm supposed to be doing right now. That can only happen if you reduce your workload. If you've got something and you're like, yeah, I should get that done in about 30 minutes, and you go over, and let's say you're at the hour mark now, your brain isn't going to focus as well anyway, because your brain is like, oh God, I shouldn't still be doing this. I should have moved on to the next thing at this stage, and I should be doing that other thing. And then, oh my God, and then you get to another hour and you're like, oh my God, now I'm like 2 tasks behind where I should be, and everything feels like you're behind and you're dragging your feet behind you. Like, how are you supposed to be focused and have high energy and be excited about your work when it feels that heavy and it feels like that? So, while it might be an overdone principle or over spoken about, I want you to bring in the 80-20 principle. There is probably only 20% of your work that's getting you 80% of the results, and a lot of your tasks are very likely just noise. I want you to reduce it down. When you think you've reduced it down, I know you could reduce it down a bit more. Because the thing is, like, especially if you're struggling with time blindness, what happens is you're going to go through your days. Certain tasks are going to be pushed into the next day, and certain will be pushed into the next day again. And that's okay-ish. But what happens then is you're kind of running on survival mode. You're not actually an empowered CEO in control of your business. You're just going to pick the easiest thing to do to get another checkbox. Whereas if you intentionally decide which ones are most important beforehand, then you're deciding the ones that are actually the most important, rather than which one will be the quickest to do right now, so that I can get that little dopamine hit by checking another box. Now, the next absolute must I need you to do is building in bonus time. Whenever I put bonus time into my calendar, I actually put a little magic wand emoji, because this is pure magic. This one has changed my life, I'm not gonna lie. You know, when you're like, oh shit, I'm already 40 minutes over where I should be, and then there's like a knock-on effect. It's like dominoes. Let's say you were supposed to spend an hour on this task and you go 40 minutes over, then your whole day is 40 minutes late. God forbid anything else in the day takes you longer than it should. Then everything gets pushed and pushed and pushed, whether it gets pushed into a longer workday or it gets pushed into tomorrow, which is already packed full of tasks. None of that works. It just doesn't work. You absolutely need to work in some bonus time. And I'm telling you now, this is fucking magical. Like I said, if you often have this situation where things bleed into the next time block, this is gonna save your ass so good. Because you're gonna go, oh God, I'm 30 minutes behind where I should be. Oh, but I actually had a 30-minute bonus time scheduled in here, so like that's actually perfect. I'm gonna say something right now. Every single time, and I want you to hear me on this, every single time I have added bonus time into my day, it has been gobbled up by the work that I was doing. It has never just been free time. I wish it was, but it never is, because I am also a time blind girly. I just have these ridiculous standards for myself, and the great thing is, like I said, I have that self-awareness about it now. I can go into my workday and be like, yeah, this will take me an hour, but I always know in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, but like realistically, will it actually take me an hour? So I'm going to add in that extra 30 minutes of bonus time. I like to have a 30-minute section of bonus time in the morning, so like before lunch, and in the afternoon, so after lunch. I always use them. When you don't have that, even if you go 5 minutes over, you immediately have that feeling like you're behind. It might not even be conscious, because you might not be, a Virgo like me where everything has to go to plan, but there's something psychological that happens when you feel like you're behind, and working never feels good when you feel like you're behind. So plan for that spillover. Schedule 90 minutes for a creative task that you think will take 30 minutes. I promise you, you will thank yourself so much after. And you're going to see that bonus time always gets eaten up by something. So you would have gone over anyway. It's just that it got absorbed by bonus time rather than getting absorbed by time that was supposed to be gone towards a different task, and therefore stressing you out and giving panic spiral. Okay, so no dropping things, no beating yourself up. You actually get to take control of this. This is also where the reducing your workload part comes in. Because if you're planning your week and you plan in bonus time for every single day, and there's not enough time to get the important tasks done and the bonus time, and you're like, oh, it's fine, I won't need the bonus time. Like, that's where the problem lies. I'm telling you now, if there's not enough time for the bonus time, there's not enough time for all of the tasks. The last one, I cannot create an episode about time blindness and not mention this. So I'm gonna go there. So the last absolute must is to streamline the repeatable tasks. This is one, I talk about systemizing all the time, streamlining, automating, all of those things that make your tasks just easier and quicker to do. It would be silly not to. It would actually be a little bit rude not to. Like, if you are still manually doing the same repetitive task every single day, or even just once or twice a week, we need to talk, honey bunch. Like, it's all love, but why are we not automating? Why are we not templating? Why are we not documenting this? Your brain doesn't actually need to be a part of a lot of these things. So I'll give examples. If you're writing the same email, or you're designing the same type of Canva graphic, or you're like resetting up your weekly tasks from scratch, please stop it. Like, there's actually no need. Automate it. There are so many ways that you can automate this, or even just templatize or document it. And when I say document, I mean like create an SOP for it, so that you just go check, follow the steps, follow the guidelines. Even if you know how to do the task, it is still quicker to do when you have an SOP. I can't explain it. It just is the case. Because you're not going to get as distracted if you're just following check. If a task is repeatable, it should be streamlined. Now, obviously, this one ties into time blindness because you literally get more time back. But this goes into everything. You get hours back into your week, and you can use those hours for more clients, more creativity, more rest, vibing at the pool. Like, there are no rules. Like, there's no rules. Now, I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with you before we wrap this one up. Even if you have the best intentions and you take this advice, sometimes you're still going to go over more than you've prepared for. So when that happens, please don't beat yourself up. Please just notice that it happened and be like, okay, well, why did this happen? Did I have too much on my plate? Did I get distracted? Did something else come up where like something crazy happened in my personal life and it would have been impossible to keep going? Was it unclear what I was supposed to be doing in that time? And then I was just like sitting flipping between 8 different tabs on my laptop, like, which one am I working on right now? If you relate to that, like, ooh, I've definitely been there too. Did you just underestimate how long it would take? Like, or were you, what, this happens a lot as well. Were you doing like 3 tasks disguised as one? Please learn from it, because you get to adjust your estimate next time for how long something's going to take you, and then you're not going to feel like a failure. And I don't want you to feel like a failure. That's just completely unnecessary. And again, like, productivity isn't about being perfect. Like, but it is about getting curious and being like, ooh, okay, so this happened and that's okay. And I'd rather it was different, but why did this happen and how can I improve moving forward? You know, I will add in another bonus tip here just to spice it up. And it's kind of off the back of the bonus time thing. So I love working on Saturdays just because it's just a different vibe. I think I've said this before, but it's just like, I know nobody's looking for me. I have complete time and space to be in the creative flow. Like, I'm recording this episode on a Saturday. It feels great. Nobody's looking for me. I don't need to check my emails. I don't need to check my DMs. I don't need to, respond to clients or anything like that. So it's just purely this like creative bubble, and I love that. It's one of my favorite ways to work. But I like to leave a Saturday open. And it's kind of the day that captures any overflow of tasks. And this way, I never start the next week with a big pile on Monday. I always go into the next week like with everything from last week done, or at least most things, like all the important stuff. I'll be honest, this happens most weeks where I'm like, oh no, this has to happen today. This has to happen this day. This has to happen that day. And none of it can move. It can't move to the next week. It can't. If I tell myself that, I'm like, okay, it can't. But let's just make sure that we have a day that can capture that extra work just in case. So I really like working on a Saturday. I don't resist it at all. If my tasks don't fall into a Saturday, that's fantastic. I'll work on something creative. I'll work on my novel that I'm writing, or I'll work on, my next launch plan or something fun like that. But if some tasks from the week don't get done, I don't have to panic that they're bleeding into next week, because that would feel a bit more like, oh, this is a bit fucking unhinged. Like, all right, my productivity is a little bit out of whack. It's feeling a little unhinged. Like I said, it happens sometimes, but I like to have a Saturday where I have even just a couple of hours, 2-3 hours to capture that overflow, so that I just feel on top of my shit. And if you're like, hell no, I am never working on the weekend, that's so fine. You do not have to do this. But you know what? You could also be like, all right, I'll just do a 4-day week. I'll streamline enough so that I can do a 4-day week, and then Friday is my overflow day. You could always do that as well. But if you're open to working an extra day, like even just a couple of hours, consider that. It doesn't have to be full of something. It gets to just be based on desire. But it's very nice to feel supported by an extra couple of hours just on the weekend, just to feel like, ooh, if something took me 3 hours that was supposed to take me 1 hour and I don't get these other 2 tasks done, where do they go? They can't just go into next week, because next week is also full, because I'm a fucking CEO and I got shit to do. It's nice to have that support of having a Saturday. So it's definitely something to consider, right? Now, with that, I'm going to leave you to it. If this was a topic that gave you a hell of a lot of value, I would love to invite you to join my wonderful membership, Work Smart Academy. This is the place where online coaches, online business owners come together to get their shit together, become that productive CEO that they know they can be, without it feeling like hustle. Like, productivity does not have to feel like hustle. It actually gets to feel good for you, good for your energy, good for your mood. That is what I want it to feel like for you. This was never supposed to be busy, hustle thing. If you want to build it that way, that's fine by me, but it doesn't have to be that way. So we go deep into streamlining stuff, we go deep into time management stuff, energy management stuff. All of this stuff is very related to what I've spoken about in this episode, but they're deeper trainings. You get access to me as well. There's Q&As every single month. It's the best place to go if you're an online coach or online business owner who wants to become more productive. It's only $37 a month. You cancel anytime, no questions asked. And there's also, if you're a little unsure, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So if you think, 3 days in, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't quite what I hoped it would be, I would be surprised if that happened. But if that is the case, no questions asked, you'll get your money back. So there's no risk for you whatsoever. So I'll leave that invitation with you. The link is in the show notes below, and I will be so excited to welcome you into that space. It is honestly the place to be, and I'm so obsessed with that membership. So hopefully I'll see you in there, but if not, I will see you on next week's episode. Chat to you very soon. Bye. All right, gorgeous. That's a wrap on today's episode of the Get Unbusy podcast. If you got some juicy golden nuggets from this episode, I want to hear about it. So take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at More to Life Kate, because your girl wants to know. And remember, you're an absolute powerhouse. You can create the life you've been dreaming of, and I can't wait to see you pop off. Chat to you soon. Bye.